Welcome. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. And today is a really special video because we're here at Sorby Tower, this castle you can see in the background. And Sorby Tower is quite special to me. So my full name's Sean Hannah, and this is the ancestral home of the Hannah clan. So we're here visiting today. Now, I used to spend a lot of time here when I was younger, so there'll be a few photos of that, but today we're going to be looking at the history and a lot of the stuff surrounding Sorby Tower and my family, the Hannah family. So just to give a little more context in this video, so first off, I'll be using the name Hannah, which is my surname. However, there are other variations of the name, so Hannay, Hannah, and a few other different spellings are all encompassed in the Hannah or Hannay clan, and they're believed to all to have come from the same origin. So all these names come from the same origin. So even though I'll be using Hannah in this video, I actually mean all variations of the name going through this video. And the second thing is, while I was making this video, most of the facts I was just trying to remember from what I'd learned during my childhood and things like that. So throughout this video, I will put captions in with sort of fact checking myself and giving some more accurate dates and things like that as we go through the video. And this bit I've just taken some of the intro off. This hill you see behind me, this was actually a wooden fort before the castle was built. So this was a motte, and top of here you had a motte and bailey style wooden fortress before the main castle was built. So before we get to the castle, we're going to start our video off here. So this hill you see in the background, this actually would have been a motte and bailey sort of fortress, a wooden fortress, which actually predates the tower house itself. So we're going up to see the tower house soon, but first I thought I'd tell you a little bit about this. So this behind me, like I just mentioned, is or would have been a motte and bailey. That's why you've got these strange lines in the hill here. So I'm just going to show you this plaque in a moment. So here you see, this is what the structure on top of the motte would have looked like, and you see the hill here. So that would have sat up there, that wooden structure would have sat up there. These motte and bailey fortresses, it's thought that this one would have been around the 11th century. And it's actually quite typical of that time period that sort of fortresses or fortified residences, they would have been these motte and bailey style wooden fortresses before these stone tower houses became popular. Goodbye. So here we are, everybody, we're on top of the motte and bailey, and you'll see here the newer tower house at the back. If I come and show you the edge here, this is where the motte and bailey would have been, and if you were going to try and attack this, you would have had to come up that hill, try and attack it. So like I said, the motte and bailey here was around the 11th century, and like I said, I'm a Hannah, and there's no direct records, because there's very few records from that time that the Hannahs actually held this land at that time. However, there is records of Hannahs being here, especially around the 12th century, or at least variations of what would become the Hannah name, so a Hannah and Hannathy. And it is thought that it was those early variations of the Hannah family which were here on the motte and bailey. And then when we move further into history, in the late 14th going into the 15th century, it was definitely Hannahs which controlled both the land round about here, but the land around this area, they were the predominant family, and they built the tower house, which was built in the 15th century. So let's head over there. Come on. Sit. That'll do. And here's a little idea of what the tower house would have looked like in its day. And here's what we have left of it today. It's very well preserved for its age.
Or is it the same? All of it goes to the same project.
Here we are, guys, we're in front of the tower now. So this tower was built in the late 15th century, and this belonged to the Hannays at the time. It was built by Hannays, and this is a sort of what you would call a tower house, and as you can see, built out of stone. These were sort of fortification houses for big families, families in high regard, and this is basically the seat of my family. It's the ancestral home of the Hannays, which I am. And today we're getting a treat because we're going to go inside and see the castle from the inside. Moving around. Here, that'll do, son. Here, that'll do. Stay. See, here we are, guys. We're at what would be the entrance, the door here. We've got the turret going up here, and the big window above here. It's opened up for us, so we're going to head inside. Stop! Come on. So here we go. If we enter the castle and we turn in, so these would have been sort of like cellars. You can see the castle's undergoing work. It's all donation work. So I'll show you in a little while, but you can scan a QR code and donate, and it all goes towards restoring the castle. But these would have been cellars. Then when we come through here, this actually would have been the kitchen with a massive fireplace. So yeah, this is where they would have cooked. In here, you've got a few things in here right now. Bread oven, and then if we look up here, massive flue all the way up. And this chimney, this massive flue would have served 6 different fireplaces on the way up. And of course this massive fireplace, which is like a room on itself. It's even got windows at the sides. One thing I want to point out, what you shouldn't do, we'll see it better from this side. You'll see some people have been scribing their names in. You shouldn't do things. This is a piece of history. Scribing your name into this is just wrong. Got a lovely big stag's head above the fireplace. And then we'll head back this way. Cobbled floors, absolutely amazing cobbled floors. Walk on. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna head up the stairs. I'm just gonna close the door open. Stop. Heading up the stairs. Look at this. Wow. So now we're walking into what would have been the hall. So this would have been like it is now, a great big open hall. The fireplace there. There would have been another fireplace right here. You've got cubbies in the sides. And then this big open bit. This would have been a spiral staircase, and they're trying to restore this next. So this would have been a spiral staircase going all the way up to the top. And then you can see the cubbies and the floors above, which are all gone. Recently this roof's been put on to keep the weather out and stop it deteriorating more. But there would have been another 2 floors above this at least. Look at how amazing some of the stonework is in here. Some of these massive windows with stone built-in window lintels. These huge windows. Just amazing. In here, you can see this is a little sort of cubby in the side. of the Great Hall. There's sort of different theories on what these would have been. Some of them, people think that lords and that, when they were full up, would have went into these and actually vomited so that they could eat more food, which is excessive. But they actually recently discovered one of these was actually a toilet area, and the other one was a store. But yeah, and you can see where some of the other fireplaces have been. This would have been a huge big place. Said this was the seat of my family. You can see our coat of arms and things up all around the place. And this place actually was built by hannays, and they actually lost it in the 16th century. So the hannays had a long-standing feud with a few different families. Just to name some of the more famous ones, the Dunbars and the Stuarts, which led to some pretty big conflicts. It led to some, when I was talking about conflicts, actual battle conflicts, and eventually though a series of conflicts would lead to the hannays selling the most of the land and then eventually losing this castle to the Stuarts late in the 16th century, and where it remained in Stuart hands for the next around 100 years. Behind me here, you see this sort of shield. So historically, one of the symbols of the Hannah family is the 3 roebuck's head. It's actually 3 decapitated roebuck's heads. Hello everybody, this is actually my first time back here in a long time. I spent a lot of time here as a kid. We used to come camping here, and back then there was no roof on the castle, there was none of these windows, it was just a shell, a ruin. Even the second floor had half fallen through, and like I say, they're using donations to try and restore this place to what it used to be, which is just amazing. So if you're ever in the southwest of Scotland and you're down here, come visit Sorby Tower. We got a bit of special treatment getting to go inside. They do sometimes do tours here, but you have to contact them in advance, and there is a QR code which you can donate to when you're here. So yeah guys, if you are here and you want to come visit somewhere like this is a pretty small one. It's off the grid, but it's amazing, and the work that the society's trying to do here is brilliant in restoring this tower.